Welcome to the Parkside Baseball 2020 season preview presented by Hampton Inn and Suites. Being joined by Ranger head coach Daniel Esposito. My name is Matt Menzel. Coach back now for his 8th season at the Rangers helm. And let's start by looking back at 2019. And again, without looking at wins and losses and the stats, your impressions on just the way the season played out. What were your takeaways?
I think we had a talented group last year. Underachieved quite a bit, in my opinion. Probably could have done a better job in a lot of areas, but for some reason we just didn't come together. But moving forward, I think that has been the major focus for this group in the fall, is to try to develop a little more cohesion. And we've had some new players enter our program, and just blending all these guys together. So it's been a little bit of a challenge, but it's been effective so far this fall.
Now, outside of that, when you look at your off-season focus, anything on the diamond that you said, hey, we have to get better in this area if we're going to compete?
We need to score runs. That's been the major focus, I think, in this, recruiting and just swinging the bats and getting opportunities to get runners on and moved over in scoring position and getting them in has been the biggest challenge. So I think our lineup this year is going to be more offensive. We've got some bigger, stronger kids. We've got, junior class that's pretty talented and that has played a lot of baseball here at Parkside. So we're looking for them to kind of, step up and produce this year, offensively especially.
So hopefully being more offensively minded, but what else do you see as maybe on paper without a game having been played, do you see it being strengths of this team? And I guess what question marks do you still have going in?
Question marks are basically, the starting rotation. I think we have guys that will step up and be good, but we graduated 2 seniors that were really good in there, and so that's our big question mark for the spring season. But like I said, offensively, I think we're going to score more runs. I like our outfield. It's very athletic, fast, good arms out there. I think they'll take away extra base hits, and the infield is going to be steady. They're not great athletes on the infield, but they just make the routine play, and that's all we're going to ask them to do.
In your opinion, were there a lot of voids to fill from last year, or do you feel like you still had the pieces kind of there, and now it's more about getting more reps?
Yeah, I feel like, especially lineup-wise, there was a lot of question marks last year, and we went through quite a bit of change, from the start of the season to the end of the season as far as the lineup goes and who's playing and who should be playing. But this year, I think it's more developed. Players solidified their place in the lineup, and I think it's going to be a lot more consistent. We'll have a natural rotation of about 14, 15 players through the lineup on a weekend series, but it's going to be more consistent through the top 7 spots. So
even with some new faces, do you feel like this roster is experience fill, or is it a nice blend of youth and experience?
Exactly. Yeah. So we have some freshmen that I think are going to impact our program this year. We also have a sophomore returners that will be seeing significant action. The junior class, like I said, is very strong, and we added some community college players to it. So shortstop, coming from Mesa, Arizona, is a Kenosha kid. Garrett LaBreche. Mikey Leonard is a left-handed hitter from MCC, grew up in Muskego. Bryce Brogny is an outfielder from South Milwaukee that played at MCC as well. So there's some guys that are entering the program that have played.
You mentioned some of the newcomers too, but I guess in particular, are there any 1 or 2 or 3 players that you point to and say here are some key players to watch at least at the beginning of the season?
Yeah, Hunter Waddell. He's going to be a starting pitcher for us. He's got a chance to lead off for us in the lineup, and he just does a lot of the good things that we want to have. Matt Helwig is a sophomore right-handed pitcher that came off an injury last year as a freshman, but has really pitched lights out this fall and has kind of solidified himself as a game 2 type starter. Aaron Cusimano, senior pitcher, had a great spring last year out of the bullpen. Probably going to move him into a starting role and be our game 1 guy. Behind the plate, Casey Oliver is a graduate student catcher for us, and he's going to solidify that 3-hole spot for us and probably do a good job catching for us and playing a little bit of infield.
And when you talk about the newcomers, I know every coach can be different, but sometimes it takes a little bit of time to make that transition for some players to go from prep to college. But what do you expect from a coaching standpoint? You expect the newcomers to come in and be ready to go right away? Do you give them that little leeway? I mean, what's the expectation for a newcomer?
There's an adjustment to Division II baseball, whether you're a freshman incoming or a junior college player coming in. So there's always an adjustment, and we play one of the most competitive schedules in our region, and we have the last 2 seasons. So there is going to be an adjustment period. So the expectation is to weather the storm. They're not young players. They've played probably 100 college baseball games, so they'll be able to handle it. It's just a different level, of competition that they have to get used to, and then the rigorous schedule, of playing Division II baseball. It's midweek and weekends. So
You mentioned this team does not shy away from good non-conference, even conference competition. So another challenging schedule awaits the Rangers. And you look, the season starts February the 28th, conference opener on March 20th. The first of 17 home dates comes your way on March the 27th. Your takeaways or your makeup of the 2020 schedule?
Looking forward to it. We're not going very far. We open up with a really good Drury team down in the Ozark, Springfield area. They'll be probably top 10 in our region preseason, so that'll be a challenge right out of the gate. And then, we're playing a lot of in-region, outside our conference opponents, and it should prepare us for our conference season, and which is what we're really looking forward to. We have a lot more home dates on our schedule this spring, and we really enjoyed playing at Simmons Field. Our guys got a real kick out of being able to utilize that stadium. So it's been good for the conference and good for our program, and we're looking forward to playing more home games for sure.
Well, to summarize all of this up, if this team is to have success here in 2020 to get to the conference tournament, what needs to happen? What do you see as being keys to success?
The major thing that we've been talking about this fall, has been to be a family, and to bring energy to our workouts, and to have a cohesion and just represent Parkside baseball and the university well in all aspects, which they've done. And we had an incredible fall semester in the classroom, best I've ever had here. I mean, this group is very tight, and they've done everything we've asked them to do at a high level, and just to continue to do that and play for each other and bring energy and positivity to every competition we can.
Well, Coach, great stuff as always. Thanks a lot for your time, and best of luck here this spring.
Thank you. I appreciate it.